Okay, so to reintroduce myself, my name is Patrick Daly. I'm a director and a builder, and I am shooting a documentary about my process doing stand up comedy open mics. Three main goals. One is to prove to myself that my material is good once I get in front of a real stand up audience and not just an open mic crowd. The second goal is to get a really good video clip of a full set of mine so that I could share that with other venues, promoters, producers. So ideally, I could start booking shows and not be limited to only doing the open mics. And third is to finish and complete a good documentary. And to recap from where I left off on the last episode, I ended the last episode with a small clip of one of my first open mic performances, not a stand-up show, an open mic performance that went decently well. And I wanted to share how that came to be. So a lot of people I know had grown up watching stand-up, or they were the funny kid in class and they always wanted to try it. For me, I was just intuitively drawn to it. It felt like some repressed version of myself. And, I like going into that tension, or that thing that you think you should be doing is usually something that once you do, it opens up a higher version of yourself. So that's what stand up was to me, just an intuitive draw. And this is pretty much summer of 2022. I'm coming from a heavy writing background, and I was reading a lot of Tom Robbins, who is phenomenal at writing. And there's very few times where I see someone do something and I'm like, wow, that person's so much further ahead than me. I can't even imagine getting to where that person is, or could I even ever do that? But Tom Robbins' books, Jitterbug Perfume, Even Cowgirls Get the Blues, Half Asleep in Frog's Pajamas, his writing is insane. I heard that he'd spend 2 weeks just on one sentence. So at that time, I was living in Tampa, Florida. This is summer of 2022. And as I was writing one page a day, there were also open mics going on. I went to the open mic at the Improv, and my whole goal going to the open mic was just to be calm on stage, as well as to focus on my breathing and be somewhat interesting. That's it. At this point, I didn't even know how to tell a joke. So I would come on stage and just be telling kind of these interesting stories and focusing on being calm, which all comes into play later on my stand-up journey. I would see other open micers trembling on stage, and I'd be in the front row cueing to them, hey, get composure, take your breath and breathe. And then after the show, he's coming up to me like, dude, thank you for that. I was super nervous. I know to do the breathing. And being calm can get you through, being calm and focusing on your breath can get you through almost anything. And as well as, a joke not landing well, if you can be calm on stage, then if you bomb if a joke doesn't land, you can at least have your composure and be on to the next joke, and ideally get them back with the jokes that are the other jokes that you have written. So that was my whole vibe. And then this all comes to a point one night because, again, most of these open mics, there's the ones that I was first going to, there's barely anyone there. And I go out one night. So there's really not a lot of room for humiliation at the ones that I was going to start off with. So I show up to this open mic on a Tuesday night. This is in St. Petersburg. And I'm expecting, a couple people to be there, do some stupid stuff, but to get a rep in. And it was the opposite. my boy Tay Davis, who hosts it, he essentially was able to get an entire conference full of people who were in town in Tampa for the week to come to the show. And it's an all black crowd. So I'm coming up with essentially nothing ready, just starting to do this. And one of the things I had been saying to be kind of interesting was I got into stand-up to spread love and consciousness, make people laugh, and to channel my creativity. So now we have a show that's full of packed to the brim. It's a Tuesday night, all black people, and every single comic that's going up there is absolutely murdering. 20 comics with the tightest vibes I've ever seen. And I have to go up in front of a really, really good audience. And I'm not prepared the least bit. So that night I go up and I say the stuff that I was about to say, but the main thing is I went on stage. I didn't back out. I could have backed out. And I just went up and let happen whatever was about to happen. And I said, instead of saying I got into stand to spread love and consciousness, make people laugh, and to channel my creativity, I go, so I got into stand up to spread love and consciousness, make people laugh, and to date black chicks. It was a black crowd, and they laughed at that. So that was a really good lesson in two things. One, making a joke that's tailored to the audience, which is something that I've really gotten decent at. I have a little bit of something that sucks, but it's directed to the specific audience as opposed to people who have really tight vibes, and it might be great for one audience, but not work for another. So that is kind of my approach at the time. And the rest of my set didn't go too well, but I did it. But it set the foundation for the joke that I had said in the last episode that I ended up crafting and reworking. So again, whenever I got into this, I didn't even know how to write a joke. And then I saw a video of Mark Norman talking about joke writing. And this is what I needed to see. So I took the premise of dating black women. I structured it a little bit to some of my experiences with dating black women. And I wrote the jokes around that. It's one girl was a white chick that pretends to be black. Another girl was a black girl. And the third girl was a mixed girl. So I started structuring the experiences I had into joke format. And finally, I shaped it into a bit that ended up working, and it landed me my first show. So I thought that was cool. I wanted to share that. And with that being said, I'm 7 days out from the show that I booked last week. And the next 7 days, I'm going to be preparing for that show. And as long as I do what I'm supposed to do and I come prepared, I have the film, I have the video, that I'll then be able to get a really good clip of my stand-up. Everything should be all right. I've had performances where they've went all right before. And I'll also have an ending to this documentary. 3 really good things. So 7 days out, and until then, just continue preparing and doing a few reps until the 31st. Okay, so
yeah, those are open mic nights where you're doing your act to a bunch of people who've seen your act and they're comics. Yeah. You're 10 people in the audience are all comics. Yeah. Those are brutal.
Yeah,
it's almost
half the shows are that, you're an open mic. I mean, when I started, it was Chris D'Elia, Dean Del Rey, me and would go to the same 4 different open mics every day, and it was just like, oh, you're my audience last hour. It's the same audience over and over. It's just an audience of 5 other comics that went from one open mic to another.
Yeah, that's where some comics, they fall into that trap of doing stand up for the back of the room. They do like really obscure shit that only the comics think is funny.
Yeah.
I mean, it's kind of practice in a way. It gives you a way to figure out a way to make something funny out of this moment. But it's not a real crowd. It's just you're kind of like fucking around.
It's easy to fall into that and never get out of that too. For a while, I just had to make myself stop. Like, I'm done with this. I'm not going to Ha Ha Cafe anymore and spending $5 to go do 5 minutes. And I'm like,
go down, go down, go down. Yeah, let me see you go to town. Yeah, go down, go down, go down. Yeah, let me see you go to town. Go down, go down, go down. Yeah, let me see you go to town. Yeah, go down, go down, go down. Yeah, yeah, if you're down, boy, really down. Baby, let me watch you go to town. It's your one chance, baby, never hold now. Yeah. Let me see you go to town, baby. Go to town, yeah. Baby, let me watch you go to town. It's your one chance, baby, never hold now. Yeah, 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 yeah. Go down, go down, go down. Yeah, let me see you go to town.
Are you all right, Maria? You look like you're cold. All right, so we're at Parkway Theater tonight. We're in McKees Rocks. Set the vibe of this place. I was doing a bit here one night. Somebody OD'd outside whenever I was performing, and I had to barrel through that. But it's a decent venue. My friend Trevor hosts it. I've known him for like 20 years, and I'm not joking. 2 weeks ago, he had people drinking every time somebody said retard. And that's kind of where we're at here. If you want to try something out that's kind of really over the top, they say to try it out here in Pittsburgh. But yeah, I'm gonna go up tonight, maybe continue doing the shit I did last night, about maybe add a few more jokes to it right now as we're sitting. And the whole thing is, I was talking to Trevor earlier, the things I need to clean up on myself are my delivery, my memorization, and I'm gonna start rolling with a piece of paper with like an outline so I could look off of like a stool, so I can at least hit the topics I need to, and as soon as I read them, I'll know where I need to go on that. But I don't really go on the phone too much. So also, one of the things is I've got to a point where I think I'm too calm on stage, because I'm really chill and relaxed, and I don't do high energy most of the time. I think whenever I get in front of a group of people that are there to laugh, and I'm coming in pretty structured with a lot of content, that's where I think I'll shine. And I might eat my words, I might be fucking full of shit, but we'll see next week. But I will be as prepared as I can be for the 31st show. And, another rep tonight. To set some context about this evening, tonight we're at Parkway Theater in McKees Rocks. And my friend Trevor hosts this, and this open mic is way different than the one that was in the first episode. The one in the first episode has a decent amount of people there, but aren't listening. Here, there's not really a lot of people there at all, like maybe 6 or 7, and they're kind of listening. So completely different situation. But most importantly, I said whenever I started this documentary, how obscure some of these rooms are doing comedy in for the open mics. And tonight at Parkway, there's a film premiere going on in the room behind us. So we're having to do comedy in front of only a few people, and on top of that, having to be quiet. And typically performing and being quiet don't really go together most of the time. But my friend Trevor is hosting this tonight, and he has got the delivery down. I'm coming way more of a writing background, but his delivery and ability to command attention, which is what I'm working on, is in the top tier. And in this room, you'll see him do that. It looks like he's like, talking to Madison Square Garden, and there's only a couple people there. And he can handle a situation like this. Me, I could do it, but it would be nowhere near as interesting as what you're about to see with him. And you be the judge.
What are the quiet jokes? Let's see here. What do I have that's a quiet joke?
Election denial.
I was in the middle of it. There, you got it, dude. That was pretty sweet stuff, dude. That was pretty sweet stuff. Good timing. That's what I'm all about. I've had a weird week. I've had a really weird week, and I want you guys to tell me if this is weird. I had a friend call me up on the phone, and he said to me, "Hey, my favorite porn star is coming to town. She's doing a meet and greet. We gotta go." It was weird because I didn't even know they did meet and greets. But I also somehow knew I didn't want to go. Like, preemptively. I don't understand, like, what's that scene even like? Just like a line out the door of Monster Energy drinks and flat brim hats. Guys wearing last year's meet and greet t-shirt like it's their favorite 80s band. There's a whole community of these guys. They follow these girls around the country like they're the Grateful Dead. They're into it. I got on the message boards. I got time, On the message boards, you should hear this shit. It's like, oh, I saw her in 09 in Schenectady, and then again in 14 after the pregnancy. You could tell she was just mailing it in. She had the stretch marks and the C-section scar and the post-lactation nipples. It was nothing like the original lineup. Plus, everything after her first anal scene was just a bunch of radio-friendly crap. Porn got weird, man. You guys big into porn? You get porn guys? Porn? Don't lie to me, dude. I'll check your phones. I'll check your phones, dude. Porn got super weird. It makes me feel old. I don't want to feel like an old man here. In my day, you weren't even supposed to fuck your friend's sister. And now, your own? I don't know if you've caught this trend, but every single porn has it. They're all related. It's a family affair at this point. It should be on fucking the Hallmark Channel. It's a family show at this point. It's, look, I thought something was wrong with my algorithms. I was like, I don't even have a bratty stepsis. I just want to read one of those porn links that's like, supportive stepsis declines blowjob, suggests therapy instead. I would crank down to that, dude. Look, I'm not a prude. I'm not a prude. It's one thing to say daddy during sex. It's a whole other thing to mean it. You got family? You want to fuck them? Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I don't even want to talk to mine. You know what my least favorite part about the step family porn is? Go ahead, take a guess. The ending is too unrealistic. I feel like as soon as it's over, it should just pan to the guy in the bathroom. He's got both hands on the counter. He's looking into the mirror, bereft of any morals he once had. He's a broken man. That Johnny Cash song starts playing. My empire of dirt. His eyes begin to well up. He grabs a Bible. It's hollowed out with a revolver in the middle, like at the end of Shawshank, And he holds it under his chin. And he takes a few deep breaths. He's there's no turning back. I fucked my mother. Sorry, I had to be quiet. I almost yelled. Because it requires that. Because it's appalling. Then he pulls the trigger. Blood goes everywhere. It's a disgusting, gory scene. Stepmom comes running in. She's obviously concerned. She picks up his bloody clothes. There's a washer dryer in the back. She goes to clean them up. It's a crime scene at this point. She gets stuck in the washer dryer. And it just fades to black. It says, to be continued. So much better than any of you gave it credit for. I'm absolutely brilliant. I came up here, I didn't pick the first comic. That's why I haven't announced who it is yet. I got nervous, I jumped to it, and now we're up here. Flying by the seat of our pants, dude. Just big dick in them. It's big at the base. Don't make it weird. You guys brought this up. What about you guys? You guys having fun, dude? You guys having fun? He's mad. Are you in a fight? What are you guys fighting about? No, dude, we're not gonna tell anyone. Don't be fucking gay.
We're not fighting about anything.
That's what I would say, dude. She's like, we're not fighting about anything if she knows what's fucking good for her, dude. Blink twice if you're okay, man. Is he beating the shit out of
You
you,
want the
dude?
real reason?
Why?
You want the
Black
what we were
guys,
talking
dude, I
about?
knew it was
No,
black.
you know what we were talking about?
What?
I'm trying to start a grass cutting business.
Trying to start a grass cutting business, dude. Hey, everybody. She picked a winner. An industrious little fella is he, dude. Hell yeah,
I got a
man.
full-time
If you need
job.
any notes, I did the same thing when I turned 14.
I hope you got a day job.
You don't want to do a day
You know,
job?
I said I hope you got one.
Bro, I'm retired. Did I say retired? I meant retarded.
From sucking dick.
Which brings us to another
Are you
point.
retired from sucking dick?
Oh, dude, that's good. You're up next. Hey, everybody.
I always
Give it
thought I
up for
could
the
do
Roger
better.
Federer guy.
I always thought I could do better.
You always thought so, but you sat there, cowering in fear. Like a weak man, dude. Like a weak man who's going to take over the Northeast region in landscaping. So I'm not shitting on you too hard. What are you going to call the company, dog?
Keith's Landscaping?
Keith's Landscaping. Innovative, original, to the point, succinct. Who's Keith?
Keith?
Makes all the sense in the world to me. Makes all the sense in the world to me, dude. Keith, the big dog, dude. Don't go to bed with that drip tonight. That's awesome, dude. I think you're gonna kill it. What are you gonna specialize in, dude?
Gardening.
Everybody's doing that.
Really?
This is fucking never gonna work, dude. What do you like to grow, dude? What makes your garden grow?
Oh, peas?
Pea.
Carrots?
You're fertilizing it with pea.
No.
That
peas.
is unique.
No, oh, what grow my garden? What makes my garden grow?
You're growing pea?
Oh, peas.
Peas?
Mushroom compost makes the garden grow.
Oh, yeah. I got worms. That's what we're gonna call it.
This is McKees Rocks. You probably got
Hell
one.
yeah, dude. Hell yeah, McKees Rocks. Where are you from, man?
Right across the bridge. Wind
Right
Gap.
across the bridge, dude.
Wind Gap.
I would have pegged you for an under the bridge guy.
Thank you.
I'm having too much fun, and
Have you ever been to the
have
Renaissance Fair?
I ever gone to the Renaissance
Yeah.
Fair, dude? No, but you read like one of those guys.
Skidmark is an under the bridge guy.
Oh, okay. You read Renaissance Fair hard,
Thank
dude.
you.
I can see you in one of those puffy shirts. Eating a drumstick, dude. Taking a picture inside the thing with the holes in it. You know. I literally didn't pick a comic, and you're all in the back not helping me out. Do a little eeny, meeny, miny, dude. Aka baka soda crocka? Aka baka boo? That's how it goes. I was gonna say something super anti-Semitic at the end because I forgot the rest of the rhyme. So I just bailed. I bailed, dude. You killed it tonight, everybody give it up. What's your name, the singer lady?
Cassie.
Cassie the singer, everybody.
Yeah.
Cassie, God damn it, dude.
She sang twice.
Jesus. God, you're gonna give me a heart attack. Shit.
Pretty much it.
A little bit about me, I'm a big dick pic guy. You guys dick pic guys? Dick pic guys? Somebody's sending them.
Sending or receiving?
You like the receiver?
Not bad, dude. With her back turned. Like a thief in the night, dude. Like a thief in the night, dude. Did you yell that into your shirt? She's like, you like receiving them, faggot? Did you say faggot at the end?
I did not.
I heard it. It's okay. It's okay. It's Friday night. We're letting loose. Everybody's having a little fun. You know what I mean? Don't say it again, though. It is a hate slur, a speech slur, speech crime. Big crime. Also, every time somebody says the R word, everybody's got a drink. That's the new rule. Some of you might want to get an Uber ahead of time. People like to pepper it in. It goes around here like fucking parsley. We just put it on the side of every dish. It's really doesn't serve a purpose. It's more of a garnish. What was I talking to you guys about? I had something really fun. Oh, dick pics, dude. Dick pics. I say we bring them back, dude. I'm on those dating apps. Everybody knows we had an incident. I like to open with a dick pic, dude. They're usually asking these questions like, so what do you do for work, dude? What am I gonna say? Starting a landscaping business? That's not gonna grab them. Dick pic, you know? What do you do for a living?
I'm a
Dick pic.
comedian.
Nice,
Not
dude.
even
Not
grab.
bad.
Not
Not
even
bad.
grab.
We make about the same, I bet. Doing that, for sure, dude. You a dick pic guy, dude? How long you been together?
10 years?
Have you seen his dick, dude? Would you want a picture of it? What if it was a painting, dude? When's your birthday? I think somebody paint this guy's dick. I can find somebody to paint the dick.
That's the worst fucking thing.
It's not going to be like a cartoon, dude. It's going to be a portrait. It's your anniversary. 10 years, for God's
Like
sake.
Michelangelo.
What was your last anniversary gift you got her?
We went somewhere.
To the Renaissance Fair?
No. Close.
All right, I'm going to get off of here, and I'm going to bring up a Parkway Theater legend. It could literally be any of these guys. I call them all that. And it's going to be Johnny T. You want to go first, big dog? All right, here's the rules. There's movies going on. You can't be loud. You got to pretty much do what I did and masterfully whisper. All right, there you go, Thick Dick. John Traficanti.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Hey, Johnny. We don't need the mic. We can just talk. My name is Johnny T.
Oh, yeah.
And as you all should know, as I've recently started saying, the T does stand for tolerance. You know why? Someone got it. Because tolerance is important, ladies and gentlemen. Tolerance is important.
You can use the mic.
I don't want to use the mic. We're having a conversation amongst friends. Look, first thing you need to know about me is I'm 24 years old, which I know is a surprise because I look like I own a couple Olive Gardens. It's neither here nor there. I'm going to keep doing the same jokes that I've been doing 50 times. I don't need to be up here. I did not come prepared. What the hell? You want to hear the jokes I wrote for Josh Rittenhauer because Josh Rittenhauer's not here? Josh Rittenhauer and I are both in interracial relationships.
Gross.
Yeah,
I
no.
thought everyone was going to do it.
That means that we both get the N-word pass. That's what Zevon Vasquez told us, at least.
I know I look like a civil rights lawyer that could have fought for either side. But I chose to, these are the best clothes I have. So here I am. My name's Zevon. Zevon is actually a Slavic fertility goddess. So if anyone is trying to learn Russian or get pregnant, I have Rosetta Stone. How do you know that you're half black? Because my boys can't swim. That is a racist infertility joke. I'm calibrating you. Okay, that's... Maybe I should talk about the weather. Okay. No, it's fine. As you guys are telling me what I should talk about. My last name is Vasquez, though. So my first name is Yvonne, my last name is Vasquez. I'm half black, half Hispanic, which means I only steal cleaning supplies. So, and I'm from Houston. As Chris said, I'm from Houston. So when I make lean, I put Fabuloso in it. For flavor. Okay. All right, this goes over better with SoundCloud rappers who clean.
Okay, so you just saw what it's like doing stand-up in front of a room with only a few people where we have to be quiet and how interesting something like that is. So I showed Trevor doing his host set, segueing into Johnny T, essentially going a cappella. And then I put a little clip of Zevon in there because Johnny T had made a joke about Zevon. And then earlier in this episode, I had that Rogan clip where he talks about doing jokes for the back of the room, meeting or doing jokes for other comics. And I had to put a clip of Zevon in there to show what Johnny T meant by that. And Zevon, one of the best writers in Pittsburgh, he's phenomenal. And again, this project is not supposed to be perfect. It is just me showing what these open mics are like, what it's like doing comedy, and the essence and vibe of these rooms, and what it's like for comic performing in these rooms. There's no script, there's no retakes. It is what it is. And you know, my favorite documentaries like I Am, Fat, Sick, and Nearly Dead, Super Size Me, Free Solo. You see a lot of character development. They're run and gun, super raw. You see people that are flawed getting better throughout the documentary. That's what this is. And again, I'm habitualizing finishing, closing, and delivering. It doesn't need to be perfect. Rather take something to 85% and have it be done than to wait for things to be completely perfect and not turn them over, which is basically the flaw that I have had when it comes to being creative, and that's what I'm mastering in this project. So I'm a week out from my first show. If all goes well, we're going to end this project, and I'm going to finish this episode with Trevor introing Andy Mango. He's one of my favorite comics, and he basically does a character of a politician that is for your everyman. And here's Trevor introducing Andy Mango.
And all 8 of you, dude, I'm bringing everybody inside. This is bullshit.
Yeah, come on.
This is Parkway Theater tradition, dude. This is the bare bones of the comedy scene in this city. This next guy happens to be a 2-time failed senatorial candidate. A 2-time failed senatorial candidate.